Hey, what is going on? Sorry I couldn't be there today, Friday. I'm recording this Thursday. And what happened was after I left school today, the dentist that my son is supposed to meet with, I guess he or she is a surgeon. They take out wisdom teeth. And if you remember, I was supposed to take my son down there a couple of weeks ago, but the dentist surgeon had COVID, so we had to schedule it for Monday. So I was going to tell you today, hey, I'm not going to be there Monday. Then after I left school, the office called and said, hey, can you guys come down tomorrow? Surgeon won't be able to meet with you on Monday. So we're like, guess so. So I'm not there today instead of not being there on Monday. But we're going to read an article about Cambodia on Monday. So to get ready for that article, I thought, you know what, we should go over the vocabulary words. So this is study guide number 13. Remember on the back table, papers that you can use to complete study guide. Who knows? You might be able to even complete it now as I'm doing this. I don't know. 8 of the 14 words, that's all you have to do. So these all come from the article. Yeah. So the first one, and I have sentences for you. So the first one right here, monasteries. So every time you hear monastery, you should think something religion. Okay. So start with that. And then monasteries are where people who have devoted their lives to religion live. Okay. Not worship. That would be like a mosque or a temple or church. But a monastery is where people live who have devoted their lives to that religion. So here's a sentence for you. We might call the people living in monasteries monks or nuns, possibly. So it could be a Buddhist monk. If someone's a nun, then they're Christian, they're Catholic. So monastery, a place where religious people live. How about that? Next one, yields. Yields. It's a noun. Yields. Scary thing. You all will be probably taking, well, most of you, a lot of you will be taking driver's ed soon. So you might have seen that yield sign on roads. Talking about a different yield here. If you see the yield sign, that means you need to like give up something. So going to the yield sign, if two people get there at the same time, the one with the yield sign, they have to wait for other people to go by. It's not so with this kind of yield. Let's take a look right here. Yields, right at the top there, the crops that are produced after a growing season. So when you read the article, you'll hear it coming from like about crops, yields after a growing season. Okay. You might also hear yields when you're talking about money. That's like the profits people have made, their yields. But let's take a look at this sentence here. The farmer wasn't happy with the yields his farm produced. So must have been pretty small yields after the growing season. So if this farmer grows like corn, it's just for whatever reason, maybe there wasn't a lot of rain, maybe the soil was bad that year, whatever, maybe the seeds were crap, not sure, but for whatever reason, the yields were small. He wasn't happy with it. Next one, rolling right along. You're only going to actually hear this when we talk about pretty much communism, and that is collectivize. You see the definition right there. Being or bring under central government control. Collectivize. The sentence I have for you is communist governments usually love to collectivize the farming of a country. We saw that with the Soviet Union. Some people chose to talk about the Holodomor, the Ukrainian starvation thing, period, the Holodomor. And that's what the Soviet Union was doing. Like all the farmers, taking away their farms, bringing under government control. They collectivized the farms there. Excuse me. I thought in the United States that our mail was collectivized. We have the United States Postal Service. So, but mail, mail is not exactly collectivized because there are some private companies like UPS and FedEx, but I think mail might have been the closest thing I thought that the government, but yeah, it's not collectivized though. Not exactly a great definition for something being collectivized. Farming in the Soviet Union, that's a really good one. Really good example. Next one, let me bring this up. Vilify. Say bad things about somebody. You can see gossip right there. Vilify. To say bad things about somebody. Here's a sentence. She felt vilified after her boss yelled at her. Oh, that'd be bad. Not good. So to say bad things about someone, vilify. You vilify them. The next one, sought, means to look for. Look for. And it's the past tense of seek. Past tense of seek. So after a long day, who knows? Maybe long day at school for you. Some people like to unwind at the spa. So here's my sentence. She sought some relief at the spa after a hard day's work. I don't know. Do you like to go to the spa? Get your nails done, get a facial, those kind of things. Relax, get a massage. Yeah, sought relief at the spa. Hopefully that helps. Next one, peasant. You probably know this one, maybe, I think. Peasant. Person who does farm work for wealthy landowners. Luckily, I don't think we would have people in this country we would call peasants, but the peasants worked the field while the rich family watched. It's not very nice. Not very nice at all. The next one, puppet government. Is a government set up and controlled by outside forces. Now, if you make this a little bit bigger, right there, see, it looks like that's the hand of the United States. I don't know if that's the hand of the Soviet Union or China, but if they set up a government, like how about this? The United States, let's take Canada, for instance. It's not a puppet government, but if somehow the United States could pick the president of Canada, they have a prime minister, but we could set up a puppet government there. So it seems like they have their own government, but they're really just like state number 51. The United States controlling what they do. We have talked about Belarus. That seems like it's a puppet government. This guy's name there, Larashenko. He's basically Putin's puppet. Just Putin's pulling the strings on that government, kind of like Ultron. If you remember Ultron, you're pulling the strings, right? All right. Yeah, I think he sings that song. It's an older movie, right? But something about no strings on me. I think it comes from Pinocchio or something like that. All right, the next one is coalition. Coalition. That's a group that comes together for one purpose. And in the news right now, probably the most famous coalition, NATO. You could call NATO a coalition. Coalition. Often used with the military, coming together for one purpose, forming a coalition. Hopefully that helps. What's the next one here? Nominal. Nominal. Very little. Not a lot. This is really sad. She worked really hard for only a nominal amount of money. She worked hard for a nominal amount of money. So sad, especially with gas prices these days. Need a little bit more money for that gas. All right, directive. Now, if you notice, let me make this a little bigger right here. The first part of that word, directive, is direct. Direct. So if you think of like a director, they are a person in charge. A directive, that is instruction or an order coming from somebody in authority. So the army was under directives to destroy the city. Next one, guerrilla. That might look kind of familiar. I mean, you definitely have heard, gorilla type of animal, but notice the spelling on gorilla spelled differently. And that means fighters who carry out hit and run attacks. They're not part of an organized army. If you look at that picture, I don't think I can make it too much bigger, but it kind of looks like a little bit bigger. It looks like colonists before the United States became a country. Looks like colonists, and they are fighting the British Army. So that's how the United States kind of won its independence from England, is that they didn't fight as an army. They used guerrilla warfare. So they would shoot a little bit, hide behind some trees, shoot some more, run off, behind a hill or something like that. Take it, like we might call it, like pot shots, taking pot shots at the army. In Vietnam War, I know there's at least one person in one class that loves to talk about the Vietnam War. That's how the Vietnamese defeated the United States, through guerrilla warfare. All right, because the country was so small, they used guerrilla warfare to fight the much stronger military. Hope that helps. Guerrilla. A lot of times you'll hear like guerrilla fighting, guerrilla warfare. The next one, amnesty. See, there's a get out of jail free card for this one. So if you know what pardon means, pretty much what amnesty is, but having crimes taken away from a person. The fugitive sought amnesty in the closest foreign country. And we usually use that verb there, seek amnesty, or sought amnesty, past tense of it. So they committed a crime in one country, but maybe in another country it's not a crime. So if they could just get to that country, they might be able to seek amnesty there. Try to be forgiven for the crimes they committed. Next one, disarray, disorder, confusion. That room right there is in disarray. I hope your room right there doesn't look like that one right there. I hope your room doesn't look like that one. My room was in disarray after I spent hours looking for my phone. When I come back on Monday, I'm hoping the room isn't in disarray. I hope people haven't thrown things around and I have to pick it all up. I've been out quite a few times this year. Got COVID once. A couple other times I had to not be there. And I can honestly say, I don't think there has been a time when my room has been in disarray. So thank you, everyone, for not just trashing my room. It's not in disarray when I get back usually. Oh, no. My favorite restaurant. We're going to talk about Notorious, and I think it's our last one. And you're probably thinking, thank goodness, that's our last one. Notorious. It's famous for something bad. Famous for something bad. Like all around the world, people know McDonald's. It's pretty notorious. It's famous. And I just had it last night. My son and I went to a baseball game, and so we didn't have a lot of time. And we went to the Sea Dogs, and right next to the Sea Dogs, right next to Hadlock Field, is the McDonald's. So we ate there. It's like full of fat, full of salt, and I feel awful after I eat it. But it's notorious. How about that guy El Chapo? Wasn't he like, everybody knows that guy's name, right? El Chapo. He was like a drug dealer. So he's famous for a bad reason. You also might hear the word infamous. All right. Hope that helps. Please take the rest of the time, work on your essays, turn those things in. You can find on Google Classroom where it's like written in bold letters, final essay. Turn it in there. See y'all.